Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist, and today I'm going to be doing a Salamangreat deck profile. So Salamangreats are a really awesome deck that has been topping a lot recently. It's probably one of the tier 1 decks right now as of September 2019, but it's probably going to get hit on the next list, so we'll have to do an update. But I'm really excited to show you guys this build, because this build is really fun. I figured with the new support, or not the new support, but the new cards coming out that, you know, got rarity bumped in the Megatins, I figured I would do a update of this deck, since I haven't done one since I believe March, since the structure deck came out. So without further ado guys, let's get straight into this. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell and there soon come part of the notification squad, and let's get straight on into this. So for Salamangreats, you always want to play 3 copies of Foxy. So Foxy is my favorite of the Salamangreat cards, and so I'm really excited that this one got a rarity bump all the way up to the Prismatic Secret Rare. But its effect is when it's normal summon, it basically Pot of Avarice your deck, or not Pot of Avarice, Pot of Dualities your deck, where you reveal the top 3 cards of your deck by excavating them, and then you get to add an excavated Salamangreat card from your deck to your hand. If it's in the graveyard, you can discard a Salamangreat card while you control a face-up spell or trap, and then destroy a spell or trap and special summon this card from your graveyard, which is really good to be able to link climb as well. Then we play 3 copies of Salamangreat Spinny. Salamangreat Spinny is if you control a Salamangreat card, you can discard this card to target a face-up monster on the field, and it gains 500 attack until the end phase of the turn. And if you do a Salamangreat monster other than Salamangreat Spinny, you can special summon this card from your graveyard if it's in your graveyard. So usually you discard it to boost one, and then special summon it back from the graveyard, which is a really good effect about this card. Then I do something that I see some people do, but some people really don't, and that's playing 2 copies of Jack Jaguar. I really like Jack Jaguar at 2 because of its special summoning ability. It does inflict piercing damage when it battles a monster, and if you control a Salamangreat Link monster while this card's in your graveyard, you can target a Salamangreat card in your graveyard, except another copy of itself, and shuffle it into the deck, which can recycle your copies of Gazelle back into the deck to be able to use them all over again, which is really beneficial to be able to just get your copies of Gazelle, your 1 copy of Gazelle back into the deck to be able to reuse it over and over again. Speaking of Gazelle, we do only play the 1 copy of Gazelle. I don't think they're going to hit this on the next list. I don't think they're going to hit Gazelle. I think what they might do is put something like Signet Mining down to 1. I think that's about all they'll do to this deck. Maybe hit Heatleo, or not Heatleo, but Sunlight Wolf, if they do anything to the deck at all, which I think they probably will. Then we play with the Gazelle. Gazelle, if it's normal summon, if a Salamangreat card is sent to the graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if this card is normal or special summon, you can send a Salamangreat card from your deck to the graveyard, which really ties in with the combos really well, of being able to add stuff back and special summon stuff like Jack Jaguar, Falco, and stuff like that back to your side of the field, special summon them to use them as link materials. Then I play 1 copy of Falco. Falco is kind of like Jack Jaguar, but for spells and traps. If this card's if it's sent to your graveyard, you can target a Salamangreat spell or trap in your grave and set that target to your field. And if this card is in your graveyard, you can target a Salamangreat monster you control, except Salamangreat Falco, and return it to the hand. And if you do, you get to special summon it, which can let you recycle again your Gazelle. If it's sent to the graveyard, you can bounce the Gazelle back to your hand, and then special summon Falco to be able to Foolish Burial something again later. Then I play, for my last Salamangreat monster, I play 1 copy of Foul. I really like Foul as a 1-of. If a Salamangreat monster, except Foul, is normal or special summon, you can special summon this card from your hand. I've really thought about playing this at like 2 to get into like level 4 XYZ plays a little bit more, but I really just like it at 1 for now. And then once per turn, you can send a Salamangreat card from your hand or face up from your field to the grave to set a Salamangreat, to set a spell or trap your opponent controls, and set that target cannot be activated this turn, which is really cool to be able to just target something your opponent controls and say, no, it can't be activated. So for my tech cards, I play 2 copies of Flame Buffalo. I just call it Buffalo, but Burfalo, I don't know. But if this face-up card leaves the field, you can discard a Cyverse card, and if you do, you get to draw 2 cards. And we play a lot. All the Salamangreats are Cyverse, so it's really easy to trigger this card. 1 copy of Lady Debug, because it is at 1, and it searches literally anything. It's like the Stratos of the deck. I play 1 copy of Sea Archiver. Sea Archiver is a really good card as a tech card in here, because basically what it does is if a monster is normal or special summoned to a zone and link monster points to, you can special summon this card from your hand or graveyard, but banish it when it leaves the field. So, but you can only use this effect once per turn, which is really good to be able to just bring it back and use it as discard materials and stuff like that. We play 3 copies of Ash Blossom, and I play 2 copies of Effect Veiler for my hand traps. If you want to play more, you definitely can play more. I wanted to focus more on the combo aspects of the deck. You can play more hand traps, but I play more spells and traps in here to extend my plays. I kind of go, you know, kind of 50-50 on this. You can drop the Effect Veilers in like 1 or 2 spells, or maybe a Flame Buffalo, and play Phantasme, but I don't want to go that far with the deck, to be honest with you. I'm not a big fan of Phantasme. So that's it for the monsters. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Called by the Grave. Called by the Grave is a must 3 of in any of the competitive decks right now, because you don't want to get, you know, hit by hand trap and interrupt your combo, especially in these combo based decks. You really don't want to get hit, so you play 3 Called by the Graves so you don't get hand trapped. I play 3 copies of Signet Mining. Yes, I am proxying these right now. I was running out of printer ink, and so that's why they look the way they do. I'm going to make some more copies of these later on. But basically, I just use these to proxy out when I don't have the card. But I really wanted to bring this deck profile to you guys, so I did make the proxies of Signet Mining for you guys. But if you want to build this deck, you definitely have to play Signet Mining in the deck. But you have to send 1 card from your hand to the grave to add a level 4 or lower Cyverse monster from your deck to your hand. So it's like playing 4 copies of Gazelle, and the deck revolves around getting Gazelle to your hand. So it's really, really beneficial to play 3 of this. And if you guys want to see how to make these proxies, they do come out prettier when you have colored ink that's not running low. But you can get the video on my channel. Just look up perfect proxies for Yu-Gi-Oh! And it'll be right there. So then I play for my 1-ofs. I play 1 copy of Pot of Desires, because you don't want to Desires into a Desires. So you have the option of not doing that by just playing 1. I play 1 copy of Monster Reborn just to bring back and extend my plays. Monsters from the graveyard. Foolish Burial, because a lot of the monsters benefit off of being sent to the grave. 1 copy of Salamangreat Circle, which is essentially like the Rhoda of the deck. You get to add a Salamangreat monster from your deck to your hand, or target a Salamangreat link monster you control that was link summoned using a monster with the same name as the material. And it's unaffected by monster effects this turn, which is really good for protecting your Salamangreats, because you can reset this card back onto your field with some of your other cards like Falco. We play 1 copy of Fusion of Fire, which counts as a Salamangreat card always, which is basically just to make Violet Chimera. 1 copy of Salamangreat Sanctuary. If a link monster, basically this card, if you link summon a Salamangreat monster, you can use a Salamangreat monster you control with the same name. So it lets you go, like for instance, with this card, for you guys who aren't familiar, if I summon Heatleo, I can use Heatleo as a material to summon Heatleo, so it's like a Tensei link summon, so you can actually like link up into the next one, because a lot of the monsters in the extra deck, if they're link summoned using the same monster with the same name, then they gain additional abilities. And then during damage calculation, if your monster battles, you can pay 1,000 life points and target a link monster you control and make its attack 0, and if you do, gain life points equal to the original attack, which is really good to be able to do that, to be able to gain life points back sometimes. I play 2 copies of Will of the Salamangreat. I feel like Will of the Salamangreat is extremely important to play as a 2 of, because it's kind of like Soul Charge. During your main phase, you can special summon a Salamangreat monster from your hand or grave, and then you can also send this card to the grave, and then target a Salamangreat link monster you control, and then special summon monsters from your graveyard and or hand into defense position up to the number of link material or link rating that monster had. So if you target Heatleo, you can special summon up to 3 monsters from your hand or graveyard, which is really, really good in defense position. So it kind of stops you from special summoning other link monsters, so you can really link climb. But getting 3 monsters back onto the field can be really beneficial, because there is a little bitty like combo that I have that a lot of Salamangreat players know that I'll show you at the end with this card. So then we play 2 copies of Twin Twister. Twin Twister is just here to, for back row hate, because we don't want to deal with back row. You can side these out if you want to for 2 Nibirus. That is an option if you want to play more of going, you know, first. Then that's it for the spells. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we're going to be playing 4 traps in the deck. I know, a little bit weird. Sometimes Salamangreat players only play 3 traps, but I play 4. And that's 2 copies of Roar, and I play 2 copies of Rage. They are searchable, so it's really easy to interchange these out if you want to play like 1 Rage and 1 Roar, or 2 Roar and 2 Rage, or however you want to play it. The ratio doesn't matter as long as you're playing at least 1 of each. I like playing, you know, 2 and 2 because this one lets you send a Salamangreat monster from your hand or field to the graveyard. Then you get to target a card on the field and destroy it, or you get to target a Salamangreat link monster you control that was link summoned using a monster with the same name as the material and destroy cards your opponent controls up to that number. So basically this is spot removal, and this is basically negate anything. This card is so good. You always want to set this first turn. They might actually put this to 1. I wouldn't be surprised if they put this to 1. Because Konami usually likes to put cards that are like Infernity Barrier to 1. But I don't know what they're going to do with this deck. But I think it's still going to be good regardless of what they do because of the versatility of this deck. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to be playing 2 copies of Yugioh, which is pretty standard for the copy or the deck. And I play both artworks, so I know when I Tensei summon, I just summon this one first, and then I go for this one, so I know that it's Tensei summoned. So you actually have the Rebirth summon, basically. I play 3 copies of Sunlight Wolf, which is our Searcher in the extra deck. If a monster is normal or special summoned to a zone this card points to, you can add a fire monster from your graveyard to your hand. And then it also has the ability that if it's used summoning, if you use Sunlight Wolf's material, you can add a Salamangreat spell or trap from your graveyard to your hand, which is really good. Like if you use a Sunlight Wolf to summon this Sunlight Wolf, it has that ability. I play 3 Baylinks. I sometimes feel like this is too many, but I like playing the 3. You use it level 4 lower Salamangreat monster special summon this card, and you get to add a Salamangreat Sanctuary from your deck to your hand. And if a card will be destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. But I really like that ability, so that's why I play 3. 1 copy of Borreload. Borreload is extremely important in the deck. You need this card because it's your game ender besides Yugioh. I played 1 copy of Fire Charmer Ablaze, 1 copy of Update Jammer. This is an old combo that I was going to tell you about with Borreload and Update Jammer where you can take 2 monsters from your opponent. Salamangreat Violet Chimera. This card's really good to be able to go into so many different plays with and be able to OTK your opponent. 2 copies of Mirage Stallion. I played 2 copies of it because it's really easy to be able to summon this and then, you know, link with it and get its effect off. And 1 copy of Baguska. You can change this out if you want to play 1 copy of Abyss Dweller in its place, but I really like the Baguska. So that's it for the deck, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell in there so you can become part of the notification squad. And let me show you really quickly the combo that I was talking about. So basically what you do is after you link summon into the Yugioh, you can do this really easy combo. So basically what you have to do is after the turn after you play this, if you have a Will of the Salamangreats, which you normally will, you can target the Yugioh and then special summon any 3 Salamangreats from your graveyard. We're just going to say it's Foxy. You summon these guys onto the field, and then you just have to normal summon 1 time. And you have a really busted combo. So let's just say you don't even have to normal summon. Let's just say we have Spinny in the grave and you can special summon Spinny back as well. So these are all 5 of your zones that you've used. So you link summon first into your copy of Borreload. So you link summon to Borreload. And after you've link summoned into Borreload, all you have to do is link these 2 away and summon your copy of Update Jammer. So Update Jammer is going to point at the Borreload one way or another. Like, you just need to summon this onto the field. And then once per turn during damage calculation, if a Cyverse monster battles, you can activate this effect, negate all the cards on the field until the end phase of the turn. And during damage calculation, you can basically make that monster be able to attack again. So you attack once, and then you attack again, and you get to take 2 monsters because Borreload's not once per turn. Because they assume that you can only attack once. But its effect is during damage calculation for this battle, uses each monster's original attack and defense. Also, if the monster battles is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, inflict 1,000 points for damage. If this card is sent to the graveyard as a link material, that link monster can make a 2nd attack during each battle phase. So if you link this away when you attack with the Borreload, which is easy to link this away if you have something else on the field, you can just link it away for like anything and go for like another, you know, play. Like you can link it away for anything you want. So it's a really good play to be able to link this away to summon the Borreload to be able to go into that 2nd attack. So anyways, guys, this is DarkArmedDuelist. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think of this video down in the comments down below. I really enjoyed showing this one. I play this deck pretty regularly with a bunch of my friends over at the card shop, so it's a really fun deck. So anyways, guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hit the bell in there so you can become part of the notification squad, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See you around, guys.